So we have it on record. So yeah, good evening. Good evening to many of us who are joining us for the week 10 of the Q2 coaching classes. It's a regular classes that we do on Sunday by 5 p.m. Why is important is that we are committed to you to ensure that what you are able to help in digitalizing those businesses is in line with the program, because there is possibility of having the business owner will have some excesses in the sense of getting you to do some activities that could be out of the program as an intern, and thereby might not be in one way or the other, not something that, of course, it's good to be committed to an organization. It's also important that you also deliver on the main goal, on the goal that you actually there to do. And that's why having a session like this is very crucial. I believe so far, many of us who have been participating in these coaching classes, it has been helpful, right? Is it the knowledge of, so many insights, so many skills have been, thoughts has been talked about, has been shared on this group, on this meeting, and for every week, it's something I always want us to look forward to. And not only you alone, if you are in Abuja, if you are in Kano, Kaduna, ensure you also, as a way of leadership, lead others in getting them to attend this meeting. They will, one way or the other, appreciate what you are doing for them. That's how to prove, that's how to show leadership. It's by getting other people to be involved in also participating in these coaching classes, and it's strictly for interns, please. For on the job, it's strictly for these coaching classes, it's strictly for interns. So without too much of other things to which I actually want to have in mind to say, without actually diving into too much of that, I will keep it there and say, okay, want to welcome you to a beautiful week. And I believe the as we engage today, there's going to be impact shared, and there's going to be many of us going to have a lot of takeaways. One thing I want you to do is please be diligent in attending and be diligent in carrying out individual tasks that's been given to you. See, your attempt of doing it improves you, and you're able to have helpline meeting on Wednesday, and then your mentors and community managers to guide you on anything you have challenges on. Right? None of, shocking thing is not all of us know it all together. So we also, as we're learning on the job, we're also in one way or the other also learning with you, also learning on the job. So we need to facilitator. We have a coordinator also on the call. So we need to facilitator to actually take us through what we have for the week, and we go, do it as short as possible so we can give room for many of us questions and answers. So please, if you are here, being here, 6 of us who are mentees on this call, please, let's do it to have a jotter, something we are penning down, or you can use Google Keep to actually store information that's being shared on this group. It is to your own benefit. And the recording will be shared as soon as possible, if not tonight, early morning tomorrow, so that we can all go through it. I wish you all success. So I will yield to Remy to share what we have for the week. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Sunday to you. Um, Hope this internship period and the weekly coaching has been most beneficial to you. I hope we are learning week in, week out, and I hope we are applying, because it's one thing for us to just keep learning, and it's another thing for us to, apply what we've learned. So I don't know if you can hear me. Bukumi, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. Hi, Remy. Yeah, me too,
Hi.
Remy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get any response from anybody, so I wanted to confirm before I move on.
Okay.
All right.
We can hear you.
Okay. So can we hear from someone that tried to use Canva for websites all through the week and just, share with us their experience and if there's anything or the link, right? I observed so many of us are not even, submitting our assignments, which is not a good thing, right? So let's hear from you guys. Has anyone, tried out Canva for websites? Yes, Umo, you can go ahead. Please go ahead, Umo. Your hand is up.
Good evening, everybody. I've tried using Canva, but I've tried using Canva. It's easy using Canva to design, and then I'll do it for like 2 weeks now. I'm not submitting my assignment. Reason being that in the other assignment that concern advertising, I've tried it, but it's not working out. I watched a video and the guy was like, I can only do that on laptop, and I don't have a laptop. But so I'm still trying. Maybe I'll get to it. But using Canva is so simple to design. That's just it.
Okay, thank you so much for responding. Um, what did you try to use and required a laptop?
It's the advertising part, rating Facebook X.
Creating Facebook ads. I think we used our mobile
Yes,
phones for that. If you watch the session again, I used my phone
but I've
for that
tried. I
particular
can't
moment.
use my phone.
Did you download Meta Business Suite?
I'm using Meta Business One. Like, which one is that?
Meta Business. That was the app we used to run the ads. You can't run ads on the normal Facebook app. You have to download Meta Business Suite.
Meta
Suite as
Business.
in SUITE. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's where you run ads. Let me share my screen from my phone.
So how about
I know you will
WhatsApp? Do I need
remember.
to WhatsApp? Do I
This
need
is what it
to?
looks like. If you were in the class, I'm sure you remember this. And we tapped on this plus, and you see ad.
Yes.
Right. Mhm. So I didn't open the Facebook app. This is where
Oh,
you now continue to create your ads. Right. You can absolutely create ads using your phone.
oh.
Right.
Maybe it's because I use the normal Facebook. That's why I couldn't get it.
Okay. So you can try Meta Business Suits. Like I've just shared.
I'll try and I will get back to you within the week.
All right.
Thank you, ma.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Today we'll be doing something a little bit different. Um, we're trying to do data analysis, just basic data analysis with um, with Google Sheets. In our case, um, yeah, Google Sheets, and some people call it. Some people use Microsoft Excel. We're also looking at the differences between those two. Let me see. I'm trying to share my screen from my laptop. Yeah, can we see my screen? Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're learning basic data analysis with Google Sheets. So this is really rudimentary stuff that we're going to go through, the different elements of Google Sheets, basic basic functions, and we'll at the end of the day we'll look at a data set and try to draw some charts from that data set. So Google Sheet is a spreadsheet app, just like Excel. I know so many people are more familiar with Excel, but the major difference is Google Sheets is owned by Google and Excel is owned by Microsoft. Now, there are so many other differences. Excel is more um, elaborate, more comprehensive in terms of functionalities and tools. While Google Sheets, the major sell for Google Sheets is the collaborative function for Google Sheets. But they are all spreadsheet apps, and within the Microsoft Suite and Google Workspace, the sheets are majorly for data. Data means, numbers, you need to calculate some things. You have different, entries from people, and you need to make sense of numbers. That's what you use spreadsheets for. Then we have other apps like Google Slides, that's for presentation. On the Microsoft end, it's called PowerPoint, right? Then we have Docs, that's majorly text. When you have a lot of text, maybe you want to write an essay, you're doing research, you use a doc. Great. So we've touched on Google Sheet versus Excel. So this is just highlighting the differences. Right? Google Sheets is free to use. So far, you have your Gmail account. Um, it's cloud-based. It's better for collaboration. Your sheets are automatically saved. You don't need to, manually save it. It's automatically saved. And it has the offline function where, even if you don't have internet, you can work without internet on your device. Now, the thing about that is once you go online, just go back to that sheet. to save it. You don't really need to save, just refresh that page and it automatically saves, right? Um, but for Excel is really big data analytics tool. Um, it uses both desktop and cloud-based version, and it has more sales sheets, sales per spreadsheet, over 17 billion compared to Google Sheets 10 million. Right. So let's cover some terminologies you need to know when you do Google Sheets. We have a cell, is a single data point or element in a spreadsheet. I'll be showing you that shortly. There's a column, a vertical set of cells. A horizontal set of cells is called a row. Then we have range. Range is, a selection of cells. Let me quickly just show you what those four mean. Now, this is a cell. This is a cell, right? This box I just entered is a cell. This is also a cell. So in a sheet, you can always identify a particular cell. And how you can identify that cell is because when we talk about rows, cells occupying a vertical space is a row, while is a column rather. Then horizontal is a row. So this is a column, this is a row. Vertical is a column, that's up down. Sideways is a row. Now back to cell. A cell is a unique spot on your sheet that is identifiable. Now you can always identify a cell. This is under what column? Column G. Under what row? You can see it's highlighted here. Row 3. So this is cell G3, right? This is cell G3. We move here. This is D what? D10. So that's the basics of cells, row, and column. Now, range. A range is now a selection of multiple cells across various rows and columns. So this is a range, for example. So I'm selecting this range from E4, right, up until you take the top left and the bottom right, up until G9, right? Don't worry, as you go on, you understand more. Then we have a function. A function is a built-in operation, is a calculation basically, right? A function is a calculation in a sheet, right? And it's a built-in operation, while a formula is a combination of functions, right? In terms of when you're looking at cells, rows, column, and ranges to obtain a specific result. Now, a worksheet is what a worksheet is this is a spreadsheet. The whole of this document is a spreadsheet. You can see the template name is untitled spreadsheet. Until I enter a name there, that's when that changes. But the whole of this document is called a spreadsheet. Now, this sheet one that you're seeing is a worksheet. To the left of it, you can see add sheet. That means I'm adding another worksheet, right? I'll show you that on the mobile phone also. Right, great. So let's move on. So we'll be looking at some of these things. We'll be playing around with these terms we've used now. Well, today we'll be looking at cells. We've talked about cells column. We'll be adjusting columns. We'll be looking at some subtraction, division, charts, and how to share and collaborate with Google Sheets. Great. So honestly, I prefer to use my laptop, but let me just show you the interface for my phone, so that for some of us that are, you know, that are going to be using our phones. So I'm going to open Google Sheets on my phone. If you don't have Google Sheets now, what you just need to do is go to your Play Store, right, and search for Google Sheets, right. You can see it as an option here. Then you install, right. So once you install, just go to the app. Can you see Sheets here? The last, second to the last row. Tap it. Then it will open the Google Sheets interface for you. Now the plus button at the bottom right, you tap it, and you tap new spreadsheet. You can decide to choose a template if it's, you know what you are looking for. You can decide to choose a template. Let's quickly look at that. Templates are, remember our Canva templates, right? Templates are already designed items that you can, change the elements to your taste, right? Say you want to create a to-do list, for example. That's the first template. Say you want to, you want a template for monthly budget. You just use this and change the text and the figures to your desire. So there are several templates you can play around with. And the purpose for this session is for you see them, use data to make business decisions, right? It's something small businesses sometimes overlook, but could be helpful to them, right? The data you'll be helping them to do a little bit of analysis to help their business, to find insights that can help their businesses to grow, right? And when we say data, it's just uh, a data can be anything. It can be number of sales per month, for example. Data can be number of customers per month or per day or per week, right? You can even break it down to number of sales per product category, right? Say you are a clothing brand. If you sell baby wears, if you sell adult wears, you want to know how many people purchase baby wears versus adult wears in a month, right? So yes, so let's tap this first spreadsheet. Not different, but there are similarities. Try to, put in as it says sales. So those are your headers. For any data set, there should be headers. Like you can't just put numbers somewhere. What do the numbers represent? You have to have an header to show us that. So let's say January, right? We made 50,000 naira. Location is in Ikeja, right? In February, let's rename this to branch location. So assuming we have several branches, right? Once you're done with an edit, you just tap this check mark. Then you go to February. Say we made 100,000. Is that 100,000? Let's say our Agege branch made 100,000. So this is data now. This is data, and it's telling you something that in different locations, we have different sales we make per month, right? Now that is how you create your data. Now let's say you want to move columns around, right? If I tap this column, right? Remember, column is top to bottom. You see the arrow that is highlighted after A. You can drag it, to adjust your column size, right? Let's say this branch location now, you want it to breathe, drag it to the right again. You've adjusted your column. Now, if you want to adjust these numbers, this header, for example, now, you want to make it bold, you can either highlight a column or a row by tapping the first thing you see, which is the labels A. You selected all of that column, or B. If it's the row you want to tap, just tap 1. You selected the whole of that row, or 2, right? So now let's make our headers bold. I've tapped it. You can see B at the bottom, that's bold, right? If you want to make more adjustments, go back to the top. And this is a bit different from Canva, right? You have features at the top and bottom. So you tap that A, the A that has lines beside it, right? At the top, you tap it. Now you can see several options for text, right? So several options for text. We can decide to change. Okay, let me switch to my light mode so that okay. All right. Okay. So we're doing good, right? Even if you want to change the color, this is fill at the bottom. We can change that color to blue. Let's change the okay. Right. So we are working with data now. Our sales, best practice for numbers is to always have commas, right? So that at a goal, people can dictate, how many thousands there is. Now, if I select these numbers, to select is just drag the blue icon down, right? Now I go to that A. Any text you want to edit, any formatting of text you want to edit, is this A plus you use. Sorry, A with lines. The plus is another thing. A with lines, right? Once you tap A with lines, it gives you options. Now I'm going to go to the it's gonna be a lot of talking here. Okay. So you see this the very last thing after the highlighted down arrow, the two next icons after the highlighted arrow down, which says 1, 2, 3. You tap that, right? It gives you options to change your numbers to your text to numbers, because this is just automatic. So you tap numbers, right? Once you tap numbers, you can see it has automatically brought the commas, but it adds 0.00. I hope I'm not moving too fast for you guys. It has 00, so you just want it to round up to normal numbers. Now that same line of 1, 2, 3, you see two beside it, you see 2 decimal points and 1 decimal point. So you use that 1 decimal point to move it backwards, just to show you the numbers, right? So that's it. For a start, you might not need that. You might just, just enter. Let's do match, for example. Now, because you're working with numbers, sometimes you can see my keypad has changed now, because it's a spreadsheet. So, but there's an option to change to letters, right? Just at the top of this keypad, which has AA. You tap that and it goes to keypad. So let's go to match. Now we can do match as 70. You put your commas yourself. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Let's say this is Lekki branch. Great. Now let's look at summing this together. If you want to sum this together, we say equals to. Equals to means you are ready to enter a formula. If you want to enter any formula at all in an Excel or even Google Sheets, once you put an equals to, you're telling the app that I'm ready to enter a formula and you need to do some calculations for me. Now, after that equals to, anything else you enter has to be correct so that you will not get an error message. Now let's get the total for our sales. So under month, I'm just going to type total. Now let's enter a formula. You can see my keypad is all, it's all letter, and I can change it to numbers by tapping that top. Right. The first thing for a formula is equals to. Before I do that, you can see for the prompt here says enter text or formula. That's the setting for spreadsheets. So equals to, what are we trying to do? Sum all our sales from January to March. Now, one way you can do that is add all the cells together. Remember the cells? The cells for sales will now be B2, B3, and B4. So we want to add all the cells, or you can just select them. So if I say equals to, if I select B2, you see it automatically writes B2, right? I just tapped that particular place. Plus, tap it, B3. Plus, tap it again, B4. And you check mark it. That's your total sales for January to March. As simple as that is, right? If we want to say, the difference between, what now? February and March, for example. Right? This text is too long. What I can do here is go to A with the lines and wrap my text. I'm tapping. Wrapping text is the row below this arrow down, right? The row below is for text merging and formatting, right? So the second one is for wrapping text. Wrapping text means instead of the text to keep running to the right, you format it to remain in a cell, right? We can just expand this row, this column rather. Now let's look for the difference between February and March. That's a formula. Enter your equals to. February, tap on February. It says select that cell. What's your formula? Minus, right? March. You select the cell, that's B4, and you check mark it as 30,000. Right? Let's put context to our sales and write Naira. Great. Now we've looked at addition, subtraction, let's look at multiplication. It works the same way. Let's add a column here. Okay, let me show you how I did that. So I selected this column, and if you look at the bottom, the last two icons, right? there's the row that has plus to the left, and there's one that has to the right. So I selected the one that has plus to the right. So it added a column to the right for me. And I'm going to label that quantity. Wait. So I'm just going to put 2, 5, 10. Okay. Undo. I know we all know what undo means, right? So I'm going to label this total sales. Let's reduce this. So our total sales will require a formula. So sales per naira times quantity will give us our total sales, right? So let's enter a formula again, equals to tap the cell, multiply by what's your function, then tap the cell you want to multiply it by, and you check mark it. That's 100,000. So in Ikeja, we sold 100,000 in total, right? On the, what's it called? On when you're using your laptop, you can always drag a formula down. That's I think that's another part of it. But let's move on. Let's repeat that. Times 5, that's 500,000, equals to, enter your formula, times 10, that's 700,000. Let's try and get our total. Let's try another formula to get our total. Another formula to do that is, you select the first cell, you put a column, and the last cell, sorry, no, do that, and the last cell, is it not okay? Try this. I'm getting something wrong there. Still not working. Okay, let's just put plus. I think I'm getting something wrong. Don't know what, but yes. Our total sales is 1.3 million, right? What I've done is I added this plus this plus this. So for everything in Excel, right, you can always trace what the author has done, or whoever calculated it has done. So if I'm looking at this now, I can see, oh, this person added D2 plus D3 plus D4, right? I know what the person has done. If I look at 30,000, oh, this person minus B4 from B3, right? You can always trace, all the calculations. Great. So now let's try to, insert a chart. Now to do that, we've been doing this A with the lines icon at the top. Beside it, you see a plus icon or feature. You tap it. Now you can insert several things here. You can insert an image, you can insert a link, a chart, or a comment. But what we want to focus on today is a chart. Now, look at all the options we have here. Type of chart, the legend, the titles, and the color. Now let's tap the arrow close to type of charts. Now you can see several types of charts here. There is the line, there is the area, there is the column, there is the bar, there is the pie, there is the scatter, and there is the trend chart. Now, each chart type has its purpose. Line is usually majorly used for timelines, right? Like especially dates, right? That you want to see, you know, how things happen across for each day. You can use the lines in terms of um, different maybe departments or sectors. Column is meant for comparison across categories. You can also use bar chart for comparison along categories. Pie chart is for distribution. So majorly, if you're using pie chart, you want to find out, oh, how many, how many percentage did this month, in our own instance, did this month contribute to the total sales, right? Um, then trend and scatter is always used to, find out. So, for example, if you're trying to, all those COVID charts, for example, right? You're trying to find data within various locations or various categories. You can use like a scatter, you know, chart. They usually use this for, highlighting areas populated with, a type of disease, for example. These charts can be used for situations like that. Now, in our own situation, we'll be using, let's use our column charts. Oh, I've not selected any data. All right, so let me select this. Um, I'm going to select this chart and insert. Right. Okay. Let's use column chart. Recommended column for us. Let's see. Yes. So we've inserted our chart now. And you can move this chart around, just tap it and drag it all around. Right. The circle at the top, you can use it to decrease it and move it. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to select the headers. So that we have a better representation. Right. Again, plus at the top, chart, type, column, and tick at the top. Great. So you can see what our chart looks like, right? So we have sales in Naira and we have our total sales, right? Now this chart is looking nice, but let's add some details to it. So when I tap the chart, you can see, let me do that again. Tap the chart, tap again, you see edit chart. So you tap that and you have other details to edit the chart. You can either change the colors, right? But I think we are okay with the colors we have. You can change the title. Um, chart title is sales Naira update title, right? Horizontal title axis. Remember, horizontal runs from side to side. It is months. We like that. Vertical runs from top to bottom. Vertical is amount. Update title. You can see that. So we are done with titles. You go back. Legend. Legend is, what's it called now? Legend is the highlighted colors for each category. So where you have blue and you have sales in naira at the right, it's just saying that anywhere you see blue, that means it is sales. Anywhere you see yellow, that means it is total sales, right? So you can either put it at the bottom, at the left, at the top, at the bottom. Can you see that? Inside, right? Or you can have it as none. But so that's our chart. Let's try to edit again. I think it should have labels. Hold on. There are several limitations to using the mobile app for this kind of the mobile app. What I was trying to do here is try to label each, have the numbers show for each month. But, yeah, limitations of the mobile app. But this is our chart. So if you talk to the business owner and say, I'm trying to do an analysis to see, the month that brings in the most sales, or it can even be the inquiries we receive in a week, right? You want to know what time of the day people call the most to make inquiries or send most WhatsApp messages. You can create a table, time. Maybe you list it from 2 to 6 p.m. Inquiries per customer 20, 30, 0, 1. You list it, and and you make a chart, and you're able to show the business owner that, oh, see, this is what this data looks like. It looks like you have more sales or more people make inquiries at this point in time. So maybe you'll be more available during that time, right? The point of data is to help improve the business ultimately, right? So these numbers for our business, is showing us that. Let's quickly make another chart to draw some more insights. Again, I tap plus at the top chart. Type. Okay, we've not selected our data. I keep forgetting that. Now, what we've done so far is we've seen sales and total sales in each month. Let's look at each, um, let's look at each branch. So we want to see the total sales per branch. You take the header and all the, our explanation earlier about range. This is exactly what a range is. I've selected from total sales up until, Lekki, right? Another thing I want to call on is, remember this the sum function we did, right? One thing about the how smart this app is that sometimes when you select a particular range, if you look at the bottom of your page, you will see the sum. You'll see some automated functions already. There is the sum, there is the average, there is the maximum number, there is the minimum number, and it's counting only 3 cells that you highlighted, right? Wait. So let's, take our total sales, branch location. We want to show the business owner the branch that brings in the most sales for the business. Once you've selected your range, tap plus, go to chart. You can see it's already recommended pie chart for us. You can see it's recommended already, so we don't need to, go through that selection. Um, this thing is quite limiting. Let's see. Should we use a do not? You can use different, options. Let's look. Okay, with this branch must be numeric. What does that mean? Okay. All right. So let me move this down. All right. Now, um, let me see. There are more options too. Oh no. Oh, this is really limited. Edit chart. Okay, but this is what the total sales is. From your, point of view, who is bringing in more money? Lekki is bringing in more money, followed by Agege and Ikeja, right? So you can, see, tell the business owner, see the branches that are making, bringing in more things for you. So let's edit one more thing here. Tap edit chart, legend, title, chart title is saying total sales by branch. Update title, consider as updated, check mark at the top, and you have your chart. So this is what you have on, and you're done. So if this looks good to you, right, you might want to clean up this. You might want to add this, make this look better. At the bottom, you see that cell selected. This, change the border color. Let's change that to, is it white now? Should it be white, black? Tap this. It's looking better. I want to do the same to this. Select the borders, tap it. Right. Tap also. I hope you are following. Right. So this is what we have, and you can present this, right, to your business owner, and I'm very sure they will appreciate it, because so many businesses just make decisions without insights to how they are performing. Now, to just show you some of the limitations. Oh, sorry, let me quickly share this with, let's say I'm done with this, right? Let's name our spreadsheets weekly sales data, right? Sales data, tap OK. You can see the name has changed, sales data. Now, the great thing about Google Sheet is that you can share with anybody that you have their Gmail address, right? What I've done now is tap the three dot icon on the far right, tap it, tap share and export, tap share, and you can add anybody. Let's add Bukume, right? So I tap Bukume's name, or if you don't have the person's email address, you have to type everything out. Then, this arrow that is pointing to the right at the top, you tap it to send. Now you can send. So to call your attention to something about sharing, because sometimes people can mess with your data. If you don't want anybody to mess with your data, tap share again. Let's say, let's share with Mr. Mayowa now. Now I don't want Mr. Mayowa to mess with my data. Under his name, you can see editor and arrow pointing down. So you tap it and you see the options at the bottom. You have the viewer, the commenter, and the editor. The editor can do everything you can do except delete the file, right? They can edit your file, they can change numbers, they can do anything. the commenter can only just drop comments, right? And the viewer can just view, as the name implies. So I just want Mayowa to view the data, right? And I'll send to him. So once I send this to Mayowa, he won't be able to do anything apart from look at what was presented, right? Wait. So let me switch to my laptop so that I can show you some of the limitations of mobile app. I know that, and I'm doing this because I know that some of us will transition into. You might say, "Oh, I don't have a laptop now," but that won't always be the case, right? That won't always be the case. So let's open our Google Sheet. Okay, see our sales data here. Right, and see. So even on you can move things around here, right? You can move things around. Now the limitation I wanted to show you is you can see by this top of the once you tap on the chart, you can see this three dot icon. Tap it, edit chart. It has a lot more, options to customize, for setup, you know, and you can see the data range we were talking about, right? Which is what we selected before we created the chart. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to show the percentage of each um, branch's contribution to the total. Now, to customize that, I'm going to go to customize. I think that is it legend now. Let's see, pie chart. I'm not doing the tools. I think it's legend. Mm, Okay, for this particular chart, right? If you want to change your chart style, you can just, decide to play around with it here. Let's make it a bit grayscale, right? If you want to make it 3D, I think it looks better this way. You can try different things. For the chart, if you want a donut, the donut is just a circle in the middle. I don't think it works well for this. We'll go back to this. If you want slice label, yes, this is what I was looking for. Slice label is if you want the actual value. Can we see what I'm doing? You can see the actual value is coming up on the chart. But that doesn't really give us. For pie chart, it's best you use, the percentage. So let's change that to percentage. So I move slice label from value to percentage. And if you want to do value and percentage, your percentage. Let's change the color to white. Can you see how our chart is looking better? Right. So I guess we can stop here. We can stop here, and this is always a challenge for us to to explore these tools we have been given. The people you see working at several jobs today, this is the foundational knowledge that they have to build on and advance in their careers. So this is the basics of data, basic summation, you know, subtraction, multiplication, charts, pie charts, column charts, and you can start with this. If you don't, if you can't really get your hands on any data from your business, I believe you can generate one, right? Even if it's sales per week or per day, you can generate one for your business. But if you don't and you want to play around with this with Google Sheets, you can just go to Kaggle, right? And just tap on data sets. You see several data sets, but it's a bit advanced, to be honest. Right? You can see several data sets to run analysis and test your skills. All right. I think that will be all for now. Do we have any questions before we close the session? Okay, Bukumi, Mayowa, hello. I think you can take it from here. Okay. All right. In the absence of no questions, I think we can all um leave. Thank you for joining. Enjoy your week. We'll be adding this as an assignment on our Google Classroom. Please check the Google Classroom. You'll get a notification, right? And we'll also add test data for everyone in case you don't have any data. Thank you, everyone, and have a great week ahead. Bye.